Hello and welcome to this Jane's Weather Update. It's Friday the 27th of September. There's a lot of activity happening here in the far east of the country and another big rain system developing over in the west. Let's see where they will go, but we will start by having a look at how much rain we have received. Now, in this northeast corner here, northeast New South Wales, southeast Queensland, we have had some big falls, over 50 millimetres. So this is just this morning, but this was what we had overnight into the morning. So all through this area here, we have seen some big falls. We've also had this happening over in the west. So this is up until yesterday morning, because the Bureau takes several hours to actually update this map. What happened? We had a lot of wet weather here building over the northwest of the country. We had the high pressure system split so that cold fronts and troughs that were moving across the south could tap into that tropical moisture and produce widespread rain. So that's what happened. But of course, some people missed out. You can see it very clearly on this map here that it was a lot of this southern part of South Australia, but also this northwestern corner of Victoria. The rain bands, as they came through, they split. We had one go to the north that delivered some very good falls here over southern New South Wales. It missed that northwest corner of Victoria, but it did hit the southwest as it came in. So this area and this area part of South Australia there did miss out. But there is another weather system on its way, so we'll unpack that now. Heading into the outlook, the forecast here, I'll scroll back up to the top. What we have in terms of, we have this high pressure system that is moving across the southeast now. So there's bright sunshine, we've got lighter winds, it is lovely, and great news for grand final. If you're an AFL fan, it is absolutely perfect conditions. We do have this low pressure system, so this is the remains of that rain system. We've got our trough and our cold front. The cold front now right through New Zealand, but the remains of this are sitting here off the east coast. Here's the next one coming in. Again, high pressure systems are split. It's all the way over here and all the way back in through here. So it can access that tropical moisture, and that will very slowly, thanks to this high being a bit of a block that's in the way, it will very slowly move in through here over the next couple of days. So here's the 8-day outlook from the Bureau. These maps here, they were updated about a month ago, and the day-by-day maps seem to be okay, but the totals seem to be adding in a little bit more than what's actually shown in there. And I'll show you the comparison from what we have at Jane's Weather in a sec. But this shows that the majority of it is going to fall over in the west, and we're going to see this come down in through these southeastern parts. This is the remains of the one that is moving out to sea rather than the next one that's coming through. So day by day, here is Friday. Here's the remains of that one. We've got this one building in the west, nothing in the southeast thanks to high pressure. Nothing in this part of the southeast thanks to high pressure. That's on Saturday. We've got this moving into South Australia, still continuing here in that far eastern part. As we move through Sunday, that's when it moves into Victoria, Tasmania, and the southern parts of New South Wales, just a little bit up the coast there, and then into Monday, we've got that there. So this one isn't likely to produce anything big as it moves through there. It's the system that we have now that's delivering the goods for southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. But there is another one that is developing on the horizon as well. Okay, let's go through the Jane's Weather AI forecast. So this is the combination of all four of those weather models. It's rainfall, it's daily, it's a slightly different key that we've got here, a legend here. So if you're after some rain for the day, generally when it gets to the green tones, that's when we're looking at 5 to 10. That's 5 up to 20, any of those green tones in through here. If you're looking at the blue, the darker blue, that's 2 to 5. Anything that is yellow and then into the reds, that's 20, 25, heading up into the 50 millimetre category. So as soon as it turns green, that's when you're looking at 5 millimetres. Here is for Friday. We've got this in through here, all dry, and this one coming in here. You can literally see it coming down from the tropics and meeting up with that low pressure. So there's Friday. Heading into Saturday, here it is all through here. We're looking at 5 millimetres anywhere that is green in through there. Into Sunday, here we have the 5 millimetres here. It is less than that, so that's 2 to 5 that is in that far northwestern corner, but this is another little bit that we can use as a top-up. And now it's only a couple of days away, so it is more likely. It's not days 9 and 10 on the outlook. Heading into Monday, here we have, moving up the coast here, next one brewing. Let's move into Tuesday next week. There it is, another little system moving across the southeast. There's got a bit of a punch of cold air in it, but it doesn't extend inland. There's no connection to tropical moisture on that one, just a standard cold front. Here's the next rain system heading into the west. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, there we go, a push from the west, tropical moisture coming in turning back to dry in the southeast. This one didn't have the big follow-on moving up the east coast. Moving into Thursday next week, here we go, lots of activity. This is when the models start to diverge as to the timing and the area that it's likely to go. So this is when you're going to get more changes to what this pattern looks like as we keep updating it, as the models keep doing their new run. So here we are next Thursday into Friday, starting to come through Saturday. So this one may reach the southeast, but it's very on the long-term part of the forecast spectrum, so not to be trusted at this stage yet. But that could be the third weather system that does come through. Okay, let's have a look what that means in terms of the week as a whole. This is just from the Euro model. That's looking at above or below average rain. It starts on Monday and goes through for the week. So this suggests that it is drier than average from Monday. We know that Queensland, northeast New South Wales has moved off the coast by then. Here is the main focus of that, and then there is a bit that moves into the southeast as it comes across. So not an eastern feature, this next rainfall system. It's more of a western one, and coming into these parts here that did miss out. Not huge falls, but something. All right, let's have a look at the temperature version of this. Remaining cooler in through here overall. We're warming up at some part of the week next week. I'll show you when that is. Cool thanks to all of that rain that is building. The first one moving through, the second one coming in as well. Let's go back and have a look at week 2. So moving forward one, this is the 7th of October onwards, so week 2. And we have drier tendencies all in through here. Perhaps another system that's coming into the west might make it in through here because it's white rather than brown, but otherwise it's a drying trend in through the east. Having a look at the temperature associated with that. So jumping there into week 2, it's a warm-up all in through here, so that would also indicate a drying trend as well. Cooler conditions continuing here for the coast and into northeast New South Wales. All right, let's have a look at the MJO. We had the idea that we've had one big system come through, that tropical connection down into those systems that cross the south. If the highs can move out of the way, if they can split and allow that connection to happen. This helped it as we're going through the green zone and heading out into these parts here into the white. Looking at this one, it is heading into the brown zone as we move into the start of October. It's not there for long, and it does come back in through here. So yes, it is on the other side of the globe, but because it's in this inner circle, it means that the overall signal is weak. So that could mean we can still get access to tropical moisture. It's just not going to be a strong one. Instead of it being out through here where it really tries to suppress it for us. If it's in the green, then we like it. If we can get those highs to split and establish that connection, over here, if it's out in the brown zone, it suppresses the amount of moisture that is available. Being in the inner circle, it means that it's kind of 50-50 and it's not having a huge impact. So there could still be some tropical moisture to play with, which is what we saw in those maps. All right, let's have a look at sea surface temperature anomaly, how much warmer or cooler it is than average. And out in our Pacific box, it is looking really, really good. In our Indian Ocean box, it seems to have wavered just a little bit. Let's have a look at, also, we've got all of our warm water around Australia, so we have a moisture source anyway. Heading into the Pacific, and yes, you can see just how much that has fallen over the past couple of weeks. That's more and more blue that is appearing in that box. It's the heading towards La Nina. It's the setup of where we're going, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 models that have us crossing that threshold. The next one is very close to it, and it does cross the American threshold because they're more up in through here. It's just one model that doesn't like it. It's the Australian model, interestingly, but it's not like it's up here. It's definitely on this side of the 0 level. So it is sitting on the fence, but it's on this side of the fence like the other guys here. So all of that guidance is suggesting that we're going to potentially cross that threshold to increase the amount of moisture that comes in from the Pacific Ocean. So in terms of our moisture source, this is ticking those boxes. Having a look at the Indian Ocean, we're running out of time in the year that can have an impact on us as the monsoon takes over. And we see it did take a little bit of we started to come down, but it then went back up again. So that's why there wasn't quite as much blue in that box over there now. So it's just all very, very neutral, but we have a lovely source of moisture that is off the coast anyway. It's just not likely to be pushed towards us. All right, so let's have a look at the outlook. So this is from the Weather Bureau. This is the latest one that has come through. There's more green on this map. All central and eastern areas did have a lot of that green over the past couple of weeks. The west was very 50-50, but now they're starting to see some more green tones in through there. So This is a lovely outlook if you're looking for rain for October through to December. This is from the Bureau's model. Let's have a look at the Euro model. Still the same. It only updates once a month at the beginning. Next week we'll have an update for you. So all of this again is showing that green. Canada, that is also showing the green going into the blue. So they really like the rainfall. They don't like it in the southwest back on the 1st of September. The one that does update regularly is the GFS, the CFS, the American model, all similar things there. This did have a huge area of brown that was in through these parts here, but does look like it is weakening off in this latest run. And we've got a lot of wet weather coming to southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. Now, this updates all the time. So let's go back and have a look at the previous runs as it's a daily thing. This one has it all in through here. The one before it, that has it all in through here, very little brown in through for that run, and 3 ago has a lot in there too. So it does look like the American suggestion in terms of guidance is going more towards the wet. So they were the ones that were the outlier in terms of all 4 of these. 3 of them were all pointing towards those greens, whereas this one had the brown in there. This is looking like it is starting to fall into line with the other ones. So we can take what we want out of that. All right, let's zip around the country. We'll start in Brisbane. We've got the wet weather now easing after a fair bit of it early on, and we're about 22, 23 today. Looking into tomorrow, get ready for a chilly Saturday. Yes, about 18. The Bureau's going with 20, so it's pretty chilly for Brisbane. In fact, it'll be warmer in Melbourne for the Brisbane Lions, so read into that what you will. So it is a cold and wet Saturday for Brisbane. Heading into Sunday, temperatures rebound very quickly, 29 by Monday. That's the next chance for big wet weather, and then that's not quite as cold in behind that one. Okay, let's head into Sydney. There's nothing really warm in the outlook at the moment. We just don't have the right pressure pattern to enable that to happen. We've got a bit of wet weather moving through today, a fair bit of cloud into tomorrow, a bit more wet weather. Most of it comes in on Monday, so that's when the 6 millimetres in. We'll just have a jump into that one, expand that out. We've got 40, 60%, so most of the models, half to most of the models are suggesting wet weather with this one as it comes through during the day on Monday. So 1 to 13 millimetres is the range, averaging out at 6 millimetres. Heading into Melbourne, and we're into a nice stretch for these next 2 days. So today, hardly any wind. We've got clear skies. It's across the majority of Victoria. And it's still a southerly today as the high is moving overhead, all of that sunshine. So it's not overly warm, but it is a bit nicer than the days we've had the past couple. Heading into Saturday, that is when it is absolutely beautiful. Wind turns northerly, but it does pick up if you're at the MCG. We don't have any clouds during the day, and then this is just high cloud that comes in at night. Northerly wind, high cloud, it will not be a cold one. So if you are heading out to celebrate whoever wins that grand final tomorrow, you pretty much don't really need a jacket, particularly if you've got a beer jacket on. And so that, because we're looking at 17, 16 degrees, it is much, much warmer than what we've been experiencing, even during the day. The next wet weather comes in on Sunday, so that's that next rain band coming through, 3 to 9 millimetres. That's across the different models, all 4 of them, and that's averaging out at about 6 millimetres between them. It's likely to really kick in during the afternoon, so I'll have a period of rain coming through there, starting late morning, ending in the evening. Then into Monday, just the odd shower as a front comes past. Heading into Tuesday, that's when the next cold front comes in. We've got up to 60% there, 0 to 1 millimetre, not going to deliver very much, and nothing north of the divide. This is a cold front without any connection to tropical moisture. After that, conditions warm up, 17 on Wednesday, 21 on Thursday, move my head out of the way, 26, 25. So it is a warm end to next week before that next potential rain system comes over. Heading into Adelaide, the nice conditions are today as the high has just moved out to the east. Tomorrow we heat up ahead of that change. So I've got northerly winds in through there. They do get a little bit gusty. The cloud builds and we'll see wet weather from this one. Let's have a look what we have there. Let's go to Saturday. 0 to 9 millimetres is the range across the models. Then we've got 1 to 5 as we go into Sunday. So that's when it's coming through. We know it's likely to start later on Saturday and dry up early on Sunday morning. And those have averaged out at 3 and 3 millimetres each. So this is a bit more than what we saw with that last rain system that came in. And that's when it's likely to move through. So warm and then back on that cool side again, and it'll warm up as we go later next week ahead of that next rain system. Heading over to Perth, here we have the cold and wet weather. 29 was a top in Perth yesterday. Today, just in the high teens as we have all of this coming through. Winds have turned southwesterly. They're gusty. We've got that change and all of that wet weather coming in. 80, 80, 80. So lots of wet weather moving through and affecting a large part of Western Australia as well in that southern part there. Tapers off later today, not much into tomorrow, but here's our cool conditions. It warms up again Monday into Tuesday. That's when the heat is on, and then there's our next change coming through. So yes, Perth does do a roller coaster as well. It goes up and it comes down as the next system comes in, and that one is looking at 0 to 20. So let's unpack that as we go through, back into Wednesday. Let's unpack that there. So it is the GEM model. It is the Canadian model that really likes the bigger falls in through here. There are other ones. Euro gets it a bit later, mainly as we go into Thursday there. We've got GFS, which is, move that one back out, which is a USA model. They're all having it a bit later. So it is the Canadian one that likes it to start the earliest. All right, that's it from me here at James Weather. I will see you next week. As always, head there for the latest guidance, all 4 models, and have a look at what the rain is most likely to do. See you next week. Bye.